Welcome to this special deep dive from the explainer. Sometimes the biggest secrets are hidden in the most familiar stories. Today, we're journeying into one of those, a profound cosmic secret tucked away inside what looks like a simple biblical transaction. It's a story you think you know about grief, land, and money, but when you look at it through the eyes of the mystics, it becomes this incredible roadmap to the architecture of the afterlife and even the mechanics of resurrection itself.
Right, so we're going to peel back the layers of reality, starting with that very familiar story and then just diving deeper and deeper into its cosmic, mystical core. We're going to explore who's really guarding the grave, what the true price of burial is, and how this ancient purchase is actually a blueprint for an eternal, divine accounting system. Okay, let's get into it.
All right, so our story kicks off with this incredibly human moment of grief, right there in the book of Genesis. It is, without a doubt, one of the most poignant scenes in the whole Torah. You have the patriarch Abraham, and he's just lost his beloved wife Sarah, the matriarch of a nation that doesn't even exist yet.
And this is him speaking to the local Hittite population. And his request, it's just so simple, so universal. He says, "I'm a stranger here. Please sell me a piece of land, a permanent resting place for Sarah." It's about consecrating her memory, honoring her life.
So what happens next, on the surface, looks just like a real estate deal. There's a negotiation, a price is set, the silver gets weighed out, and bam, Abraham buys the field and the cave inside it. It seems like a very straightforward, almost historical transaction. But in the mystical tradition of the Zohar, nothing is ever just what it seems. This is not a story about land, it's a story about the soul. And this is exactly where the Zohar's Midrash Hana Elam, the hidden Midrash, just does something absolutely extraordinary. It takes this simple story and uses it like a key, unlocking a door into the hidden machinery of the cosmos. And it all starts by inviting us to ask one critical question.
We read the name Ephron the Hittite, and we just picture some ancient landowner. But the Zohar says, whoa, hold on, look deeper. What if that name isn't just a name? What if it's a code, a kind of title for a hidden cosmic entity? An entity whose true identity is literally concealed inside the letters of his name.
So check this out on the screen, because the key is this powerful linguistic link. The name Ephron, in Hebrew, shares its root directly with the word Ephar, which means dust or earth. Now the Zohar is not just pointing out some clever coincidence here, it is revealing a secret identity. Ephron's name is a job description. He is the master of the dust.
And here it is, the big reveal from the Midrash Hane'elam. Ephron is a code name for Duma, the great angelic prince who's in charge of the graves. Just picture this vast, silent realm, and it's all overseen by this shadowed, incredibly orderly figure. He is the cosmic administrator for every single soul that dwells in the dust. So this whole negotiation we're reading about, it's not happening with a simple landowner.
Exactly. Abraham, this man of incredible divine vision, he gets it. He knows he's not talking to some Hittite. He is speaking to the gatekeeper of the afterlife itself. He isn't just securing a physical cave for Sarah's body. He's securing a place for her soul within a divine registry, a cosmic ledger system that's managed by Duma, the ultimate archivist of the righteous. Wow, and that just changes everything, doesn't it? Because if the land isn't just land and the seller isn't just a man, well then what about the price? What in the world are these 400 shekels of silver? It can't possibly just be money. The currency for a transaction this huge has to be something spiritual.
Right, the number is 400. And, like everything else we're looking at here, it's holding a secret. In Kabbalah, you have to remember, numbers aren't just quantities, they are dimensions of reality. And 400, it represents a state of completion, a kind of full measure. And when you combine that number with silver, it reveals the true, mind-blowing nature of the payment.
So, the Hebrew word for silver is kesef, but, and this is incredible, the very same root gives us the word kisufin, and kisufin means longing, yearning, a deep spiritual aspiration. So you see, the payment isn't monetary at all. It's a measure of the soul's deepest desires to connect with the divine. It's a spiritual currency.
And that is the absolute core of this whole transaction. The Zohar explains that the 400 shekels of silver actually stand for 400 worlds of pleasure and longing. It's saying that Sarah's entire life of devotion, her constant yearning for God, it earned her this immense spiritual capital. Abraham isn't paying with his own money.
He's presenting the spiritual value of Sarah's life to Duma, proving she's worthy of being entered into this eternal archive. This is the price of admission.
So what is the system that Abraham is buying into? I mean, what is this divine registry that Duma is managing? Let's try to map out its architecture, and we can use a modern analogy that I think the ancient mystics would absolutely love: a secure cosmic data server for the righteous.
Okay, let's just walk through this soul data process. It's basically 4 stages. First, at the moment of burial, the soul's entire life record enters the system. That's ingress. It happens in the physical world, in the grave, which the Kabbalists call malchut. Think of it like a physical drive. Then, that whole record is securely uploaded through this kind of encrypted spiritual pipeline. That's the transmission phase. Third, the record gets validated and logged. This is the verification stage. The system checks it against the divine principles of judgment and splendor. And finally, the verified soul data is placed in what you could call cosmic cold storage, a perfect archive just waiting for a future reactivation signal. That's the final archival, a state of perfect preservation.
So what this really means is that the Cave of Machpelah was never ever just a tomb. It was a physical terminal. It was a data port with a direct, sanctified connection to this cosmic system. It's this system of perfect accounting, where every righteous life is recorded, validated, and stored, completely safe and ready for the future. I mean, this is cosmic engineering on a scale that's almost impossible to imagine, and it's all designed to ensure that nothing of true value is ever lost.
But what is this whole archive even for, right? I mean, why go to such incredible lengths to meticulously log and store these souls? Well, this brings us to the system's ultimate function, its grand purpose, Techiat Hamatim, the resurrection of the dead. This whole thing isn't just about storage, it's about restoration.
And you know, for anyone who's ever played a video game, the analogy is just perfect. Death isn't game over. No way. It's a divine checkpoint. When a righteous person passes on, they hit a save point. The grave is that save point. Duma, this great angel, he's the system admin who takes your save file, the complete, uncorrupted record of your life's journey, all your spiritual achievements, and he stores it on a divine server. The body? That's just the original hardware, powered down but kept in perfect condition. And resurrection? That's the day the creator reboots the entire game, loading your save file back into your original hardware, so you can play the revival level.
But this whole cosmic process, whether you want to see it as high-tech engineering or a divine video game, it all hinges on one absolutely critical thing. You have to be found worthy of getting into the registry in the first place. Dama holds the pink sai, the ledgers of the righteous. And here's the thing, not everyone gets a save file.
And this idea, it isn't just in the Zohar. It echoes all through prophecy. The book of Daniel talks about a future redemption for every single soul that is found written in the book. The Midrash Hanilam connects this directly to Duma. It says that at the time of resurrection, the divine will call on Duma and literally demand the register. And he will produce the souls of the righteous by number and by name, all because their records have been secured in his system.
So as this chart really spells out, the system has gatekeepers and it has criteria, and that leads to 2 very different outcomes. For the righteous, their soul record gets submitted to Duma, it gets entered into the ledgers, and their body rests in a secure plot, a terminal just waiting for that call to be reactivated for the great revival. But for the wicked, their soul record might be rejected or just deemed insufficient. Their name isn't found in the book. Their connection to the system is just severed, and they're excluded from that final resurrection, a life of that spiritual longing of kisufin, and righteous action. That's the key. That is what ensures your name is found in that book when it is finally open.
So this ancient secret, hidden away in this story of Abraham and Ephron, it completely transforms how we understand life and death. The grave isn't a place of forgetting. It's a place of perfect memory. It's not a final destination. It's a data port. It's not an end, but a waiting room for a grand cosmic reboot. And it really asks us to think about the fact that every action we take is being recorded, logged, and valued, contributing to a spiritual currency that might just be the price of eternity.
Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.